Hi, today's video is growing cherry trees from cherries. These cherries are sweet cherries that came from Washington, and it's a very simple process to get the seeds ready, get them in the ground, and have a tree hopefully later. First we start by buying cherries, and of course you have to eat the cherries, which leaves pits. And once you have these pits, then we need to break them open and go from there. So that'll be my next step. So I'm going to get myself a pair of pliers, and then I'll show you how to do that from there. Okay, so our first step is we're going to take our cherry pit and we're going to take the hard shell off and get this, which is part of the seed. We still got to take another shell off after we take this off, but that'll be later. So we'll take our pair of pliers, put the seed inside, and we'll give it a little bit of a crunch, and it'll break right open. So just get this in here. You can, and of course I just dropped it onto the floor. And there it is. That's what we're looking for. Just another little one, and then I'll do one more here. So take my pliers, take the pit, we'll put it in, and we'll try not to lose it this time onto the ground. There's the noise, and I broke this one. Nope, yes I did. So we'll try it again. Good thing cherries are yummy. You can always eat more if you have to. There, we heard it crack that time. And then it'll break right open here. And there it is inside. So we'll do that a bunch more times, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so once you've got the hard shell off, then with a wet paper towel or damp paper towel, you put them in a little container such as this, and you put them in that, another paper towel on top, and leave them in the fridge for about a week. And now what you want to do, you want to take these little seeds, and you got to remove that dark shell that's still on there. It's just not a really hard shell, but it has to come off. And when you get it off, they will be nice and bright like this. And the easiest way to do it is take one of these into your hand, and I'll show you here in a second. Okay, so these ones here have been in the fridge for about a week. That's the pits that I have removed the hard shell off. So now we have to remove this light brown shell. And as you see, it just scrapes right off nice and easy. So what we're going to do is just go around the whole seed, and then sometimes, which nobody seems to ever say on the internet, sometimes when you do this, the shell will break in half, and if it breaks in half, then again it's no good. So there will be some loss when you do this, so always expect that. And I'm just going to carefully go around the seed, and we'll get it all cleared right off nicely. Sometimes they come right off really easy, and other times they fight you a little bit, but this one's going not too bad. I almost got it all. Whoops, there, see, that's what happens sometimes. They break open, and then they're no good, of course. So let's try another one. Okay, so we'll start. We'll give it a... So when they're all done, it will be a nice bright white looking seed. And we'll just keep spinning it around. We're almost there. Hopefully this one works. And A little bit more on the top here. This is where the root will come out when the time comes. And that should be basically, that's what we're looking for. A fairly clean looking seed. Now I'm going to take this and I'll put it in with my other ones, and then we'll leave that in the fridge for upwards of a week, and in a week from now we'll come back and hopefully some of these will have little roots started. Okay, so we'll see everybody in a week. Here's a sample of 3 cherry seeds that have been setting probably for a good week, week and a half. The first one, as you see, it's got probably close to a 2 centimeter long root, and it's also got some green starting on the top. This one here has about a root that's about a centimeter long, and this one actually has some green started, but I don't see the root, but it must be there somewhere. So again, I'm going to take these 3 and put them in a pot, and hopefully in a few weeks they'll be out of the ground and growing. And I'm going to put it in a hole that I put in the pot here, stick it in, push it down a little bit, and then we're going to cover it up with dirt. Now I'm going to do that for 2 or 3 more of these. I'm going to put it back up on the windowsill, and then I'm going to put a top of this, which is the bottom half of the a big 2-liter pop bottle, but I'm going to put it on top, and that'll hold the moisture and so on in the soil. So hopefully in another week or so the plants will be growing. As promised, I'm now showing you the picture of the cherries once they've come out of the ground. And so what I've done for the last 3 to 4 weeks, I've had them in a pot with the dirt and the bottom half of 2-liter pop bottles. So let's take the top off. I just had this right down to the ground to keep the moisture in. And there we go. 2 of the seeds that we planted close to a month ago are now up, and this one here, the closest one to me, is probably a good 1.5 inches tall, and then the little guy over there beside it is probably about 1 inch tall. So I've lifted the container up a little bit so to get some air to go underneath, and that's what I've done with these little pieces of cardboard. And I'll probably do that for about a week and then take it off, and then I'll just keep giving it some moisture water along, because I don't want it to dry out, of course. And then very likely, probably in a few weeks to a month from now, I'll put them in their own individual pots, and in a short, maybe 6 to 8 years from now, I'll be eating cherries. Thank you very much for watching this video. Bye now.